Okay, before your September holidays, we actually had a bit of activity in class as well. It was here, this on your class story portfolio. Okay, you have seen during the holidays as well, Jin submitted something. I'll check on it in a moment. But okay, so previously, before we left for the holidays, we are doing some researching activity and posting up on our class dojo portfolio. So the activities includes like saying, for example, graphs in real life. Okay. And we also talk about how we can record the different ways of recording things. Tally marks, tables, line graphs, bar graphs, listing. Okay. So one person answered this. Okay, and here Jin says bar graphs use bars while line graphs use a line. And then some of our friends noted here that in a graph we need to show vertical axis, horizontal axis, and some of the graph shows population or trends. Okay, so some very good sharing there. Now I'm looking at moving us on to line graphs. Let's take a look at our activity and some of our friends' work. And I think something we can spot already as I was flipping through some problems. For example, I think one of the, like for example, this is Stefan's one. It looks quite all right. Is there a title? Yes, there's a title. It says Stefan's Racket Tap Challenge. Okay. And then over here, you have the axis, the vertical axis, and then the horizontal axis. Horizontal axis, the title says time in seconds. And the vertical axis shows just numbers. So you notice that there's a problem with Stefan's work here. This axis title doesn't seem right. What should this title be? Very good. It should be racket taps. Number of racket taps. So this axis title is not correctly written. Now, but let's take a look at what are some of the differences in our friend's work. Say, okay, Adriel here, no title. Again, never mind. Let's take a look. Can you see there's some differences in how they wrote their axis? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and hers stops at 60. Oh, but this axis 70, so we probably need the 70 as well. Okay, and then we have another one from Ayla. Maybe racket is not her favorite activity, but if you look at just the line itself, it seems as if it's going straight up, right? But that shows how important axes are. Now, when I look at her work, still the title is missing. Okay, but can you see why we need sometimes different intervals for the axis? Can you see that? So for Ayla's tabs, because she's actually doing lesser tabs, she managed lesser tabs, she will have a scale that starts and ends differently from Stefan's one. Can you see that? Know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's take a look. There's some problems here. I picked out a few that has a problem. Now, most of us, as I flick through, as you look through, most of us has a line that's going upwards. You can see that, right? Most of the lines are going upwards. Right? Why do you think that the line is going upwards instead of a straight line? Why is it? What does the line show? At the end of 1 minute, yeah. Okay, so it meant that the line is going upwards because it's a continuous counting. You know what I'm talking about? So I add on, add on, add on, add on. At the end of 1 minute, it was 46. That's for ID here. So it's going upwards. Now, but to find each 10 seconds, I will have to do subtraction, right? That's what we were talking about yesterday. So it's mostly going up for us because we are counting non-stop. Then, very odd, I see some graphs that were quite odd. Like Alicia's here's odd. And then Nigel's one looks odd. And then I think I saw Alicia's one looks a little odd as well. And I was a bit puzzled. Let me find Alicia's one. I saw it a while ago. So maybe you can tell me what do you think? Yes. So this Alicia's one, it looks going up as well, but it seems a little odd. Yeah. So Alicia is saying, yeah, you know. So what do you think was the problem? So what Alicia did was it's not wrong also actually. Yes, yes. So yes. So what is important is to understand why it is different. I'm not saying it's wrong. I say it's okay. It looks different. It looks odd. I didn't say it's wrong. Okay, Alicia? But you need to understand how come it's different. What makes it different? That's the important thing. So, so Hara is saying, hey, everyone, and what Ayla saying was correct too. Everybody was counting continuously. And we had to do subtraction to find out how many you did for every 10 seconds, every next 10 seconds, right? But what Alicia did is that she didn't do that. She didn't count her, or maybe her friend who was counting for you. Xing'en didn't count continuously. Instead, every 10 seconds she recount. So the recounting, you see her like this. So it's a different graph. But let's say I want to find the total amount of taps at the end of 60 seconds. What should I do? Yes, add all together. Can you understand? Now, so I think the same case is with Nigel's one. It looks really odd, like zigzag like this. So I think he made the same mistake. Nigel, who's counting for you? Stephanie. So why does the graph look like this? Can you explain? Yeah, Stephen, look, what is learning? In Miss Lim's lesson, we are always talking about what is the problem and how we can learn from the problem. I want you to be able to understand what's going on and be able to explain what's wrong if something is wrong. Don't immediately answer me, I didn't draw this, it's not mine. It's fine. I just told Lisha, it looks different. Number one, I didn't say it's wrong. Number two, if it's wrong, nothing embarrassing about that. It's like, okay, it's wrong. Let's find out how to help our friend to understand better. So Nigel is saying that he didn't understand what to do. Okay, is that okay? Yeah. Okay for now lah. But is it really okay? Of course cannot. Okay, you need to find out. You need to learn. You need to know how to do it. So Stefan, can you help to explain to Nigel why this graph is not correct and how it should look like? Come, explain. Okay, so Nigel, first thing that Stefan is saying that, look, the first at 0 second, it should start at 0. So the starting point should be here, not here. So that's 0. Next, there's something missing on the axis on this side. Adriel, can you suggest what do you think Nigel should do first on this side? Okay, so Adriel says, let me rephrase what she meant. She says you need to decide on an interval. How do I decide on whether is it going 10, 20, 30, 40, 5, 10, 15, 13, 2, 4, 6, 6? How do I decide that? Kaylen, how do I decide this axis? Is it going by 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 5, 10, 15, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 200? How do I decide? How do I decide? What do I decide on for Niger now? Sashi? Okay, so some of us tried trial and error. You write down a possible one, then you put in the spots. Okay, try see whether it works. If it doesn't work, try again a different one. But there's a smarter way rather than doing that, guessing and checking. What's another way? Do you already have the values? Yes, Stefan already counted for Nigel. It starts at 0, it ends at 25. So should I go 0, 50, 100? No need, right? Because it's not hitting 100, it's just hitting 25. So my scale doesn't have to be that big, which means, like how I want to say, some of you, like here, Aisha, you are hitting a score of 20, and also Alicia here, you are hitting a score of 20, your axis is unto 60. So it's not going to be very helpful. Your graph is difficult to see when the numbers and intervals are so cramped together. So you need to look at your range of numbers. So for the case of Nigel, because it ends at 20, I can choose to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, cannot. So I will probably go by 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Does this work for Nigel's one? If you look at his information, his data, does this axis look like it fits for him? Yes. Okay. Whereas some of our friends are very good with the tapping. Over here, we have Fraser who hit 134 taps. So you can see how he changes his axis. Can I use Nigel's axis for him? No, doesn't make sense, right? No. Okay, so that is understanding the axis. Next question. Then we have Alicia's one. You saw many axes here. What is her problem? Apart from the axis is a problem, the range is not well chosen. What is the other problem Alicia is facing? Yes. Sorry? Yeah. Alicia, do you know what problem you are facing? Yes? Yes or no? Don't know. Let's look at where you put the markings. That's what I'm going to talk about next, the markings. Most of us are doing great in that area of making markings here. Like here, Razor's got markings. But JT marking, you have one that's floating here, where it's 40 is here, so it should be actually here, but there's no axis here also. But most of us are okay with finding markings. I have clear markings on this one. That's Jashi's one. Ages markings are pretty clear. Very nice. So it's Fitris. The markings are very neat and tidy too. I saw Russian's one just now. But I have to say that because, yeah, it was nice, quite nice. Or maybe we can talk about Howran's one, because what is the problem with Howran's one? No markings. Yeah, where are your markings? Okay, so you have to pay attention here. If in the exam or test type, the question asks for mark the line graph and complete the line graph, then you're going to lose 1 mark from this question because you don't have markings. You probably score it right. You probably score right for the line, but you don't have the markings. So you'll lose the marks for making markings. Okay? Now, the choice of marking is cross okay? I think it's okay. Is making dots okay? Also can. Now, but Alicia has a problem here. She has multiple crosses here and dots. What is the problem, Sarlini? Maybe you can help. Why it shouldn't be close? Then where should it be? Where should it be? Very good, Salini. That's a good explanation. So, Alicia, it says here, you need to pay attention to the information that's given. Here says 10 seconds, so you should look for 10 and look for along this column of 10 seconds, where should I mark? So in this case, 11 should be here. Let me use a pencil because you use a red pen. So it should be here if I use her axis. And for 20, this is 20, 14 should be here. And 0 is here. 30 is here. So 18 is somewhere here. At 40 is 22. So based on the axis is here. At 50 is 24. So based on the axis is here. And at 60 seconds is 28 is supposed to be here. Do you understand? So it should follow the axis. Now, why is this important? Let's take a look at Aegis one again. Let's take a quick check. 0, 21. I cannot tell where you are marking the axis. Your numbers are like in the air. Is this 10? So you're meaning this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 60. That's what you mean. Then the first score at 0, this is correct. But at 10 seconds, it should be 21. So 21 should be here. So this you have marked this wrongly. Can you understand that? And then at 20 seconds, it should be 31. So 31 is here. Okay? Now, let me take a look at Somebody who may have gotten it right. Let's take a look at Owen, see whether he got it right. Charting his own one. He had 0, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. Is this correct? Is his axis correct? No, what is wrong? So 0 to 50 is 15, but here 10, here 10, here 10. So there's some errors with your axis too. Never mind. So let's take a look at another one. Let's try with, who thinks you got it right? Rachel. Okay, let's take a look at Rachel's one and see whether he got his right. Again, I think the axis you need to be bit neat than that. But he goes by 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. 0, 23. Okay. 20 to 40, that means 2. There are 5 intervals to 40 and it starts at 20. So each interval is 24. So 20 to 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. So it goes 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 8, and then 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. So that is his choice of interval. So 23 is somewhere here that is correct. 42 is somewhere here that is correct. 62 is somewhere here that is correct. 81 is here, correct. 97. Okay, and 134. Okay, very good. So it's about right. Now, let's say I have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds. If I ask, guys, do you think you'll be able to find out using the graph what his number of bracket taps were and when the time was 15 seconds? Do you think you'll be able to find that? Yes, how? I look at where 15 is, 15 seconds is, and then, very good. Then I look up to the where this point is on the line, and I can say, oh, when it's about 15 seconds, he did 36 taps. Is 36 taps on here in the table? Is 36 taps here on the table? No, it's not. Where did I find out 36 taps from? From the line graph E2. Can you understand that? And that's why line graphs are so special. It allows you to see values that falls in between intervals. If I ask, okay, can you tell me when he hit 100 taps? 7? Do you think can find when he hit 100 taps? How? Okay, so I look for 100 here, and then I use a ruler. That's a good idea. And the total lines helps. Otherwise, a ruler is a great idea. Where is my ruler? I might use a staple first. Okay. Then I see 100. Okay, here. So I can see, oh, Rachel, he reached 100 taps at about, this is 50, about 52 seconds. That's very right. That is the power of line graphs. It allows you to see the trend and allow you to see things that happen in between intervals. Is that okay? Now, this was the activity that we did. There's so much learning that can be from it. Now, let's take a look at our textbook and workbook. Yes. Yes. Okay, so let's take a look at the part on the line graphs and see how it got us to the lines. Yes. Okay, let's take a look at the part on the line graphs in our book here. You'll see that it says here on page 124 and 125, you can see here the PSI readings on the 3rd of November. And it shows you the PSI pollutant standards index reading changing from 7 a.m. in the morning to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, and previously we learned bar graph, so we know we can draw bars underneath. However, it's not very helpful to see how the PSI changes along the time. What was helpful was actually the line graph. It shows you how the data changes over a period of time. It shows the change of quantities at regular intervals. What does it mean by regular intervals? It means looking at the axis, it's regular. Both the horizontal axis, the horizontal scale, or the vertical scale or vertical axis, they are at regular intervals. You don't skip the interval. And you can see that from the line that's drawn, the line was drawn based on the red dots markings. And you can see the trend, you can easily describe. Oh, at 10 a.m. in the morning, the PSI was highest. And it started to drop towards the afternoon. So you can write out a story based on the graph that you see. Now on the next page, you can see this graph has an increasing trend. The line goes upwards, just like how you did the graph for yourself. When a person drives the car along the road, the amount of petrol used goes up as you drive. And because of that, you cover more distances too. Okay, so at the end of 5 liters of petrol being used up, you have traveled 60 kilometers. Now, based on this graph, if I ask, at 1 liter, how much distance it was traveled? Sure. At the second liter use, 24 kilometers was traveled. Now, the amount of petrol used and after every liter use, this is always at 12 km. You see that? A pattern? Okay. It's always 1 liter, 12 kilometer. Another 1 liter, another 12 kilometer. Can you see that pattern? Another 1 liter, another 12 kilometers. What times table is this? 12 times table. Can see now? Well, how come you can see 12 times table? Because it's a straight line. Okay. Well, okay, then this one here. Okay, this example, we are starting to learn how we can transform the bar graph here. So our friends who just went to the toilet, I'm not going to repeat myself. You have to go back and find out what you missed out or what I missed. Now, from the bar graph here is this after over 4 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Okay, sometimes the bar graph can be changed to a line graph with no difficulty if the information stays the same way. So if I base on this, there's no axis here, but are you able to identify which one is the correct graph? Is it line graph A, line graph B, line graph C? How many say A? A is the correct graph. How many say B? B is the correct graph. How many say C is the correct graph? Okay. So the answer should be day 1 is at this number, day 2 it dropped. So this one goes up, day 2 it didn't go, it didn't drop. So A is out already, A is gone. So it's either B or C now. So day 2 it dropped, both dropping. Day 3 it goes up, both goes up. Day 4 goes even higher. So the answer should be B. Should not be C, yeah? Okay. Now, let's take a look at our workbook now. And we try out some of the questions. Now, just before that, let's take a look at. There are some more interesting questions here. If you look at this graph here, it shows you the interval of 12 midnight, 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 noon, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 25, 40 degrees Celsius. So these are all regular intervals. And the red dots represent the markings that was given. And then there's this question here says, what is the temperature at 8 p.m.? Is it difficult to find? No, because it's already a marking here, and I can just go from 8 and then go across to find 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, but is this one difficult? The difference between the temperature, the difference in temperature between 12 midnight and 12 noon, it says here 12 midnight is over here, 29 degrees Celsius. 12 noon is 25. So I can just do 35 minus 29 degrees Celsius again. So 35 minus 12 noon minus 29, you get 6 degrees Celsius difference. Is it easy? Okay? I understand, right? And then how much low? So let's try now with our vote. I'm on page 157. Okay, and for a start, I will help you to emphasize. I hope it continues the habits on doing annotations raised for this. We'll do one question and then we take a break and then we do another question. Okay, and then I will tell you a homework for tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at this line graph here. We're starting with line graph. This is page 157. The line graph here has a story involved. It's important to read the story before you carry on. Don't just go straight into wanting to answer. Okay? It shows the number of traffic accidents involving motorcyclists at the end of each month from January to June in a certain year. So, number of traffic accidents, that's the title. You can see it here, that's the title. Involving motorcyclists now this phrase is important. At the end of each month, from the period of January to June in a certain year. Now this is important. It tells you that every marking that's marked out on the line graph represents the end of the month. What is the number of traffic accidents? Next, study the graph. What does it mean by study the graph? It means I need to look at the marking points and see if I can identify them correctly based on the scale provided. In this case, the scale is a vertical one on the left side. Let's look. It goes 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There are 5 markings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spaces for 5. In other words, it goes very kindly, counting easily. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this scale still quite easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is going one by one, so not too difficult. Can I find out already what are the numbers for each spot? I will start with just indicating them so it helps, I feel, to be really quick in getting it. So based on this, I can even create a table. January 25, February 15, March 20, April 20, at the end of May it was 12, at the end of June it was 5. I can even create a table of values for me. Now, which month was the number of accidents the highest? Based on the table of values, I can immediately see it's January. Based on the line graph, I'll go with the one that's the highest point. And that was January. And it was 25. Then, if it's the lowest, I go for one that's the lowest point. Or based on my table, I could see it's June. In which 2 months were the number of accidents the same? This one's not difficult. What do I need to look out for? Look out for the 2 months that has the same number, right? Which were the 2 months? March and April. All right, so March and April, based on my table of values, they are the same too. But if I just look solely at the graph, what is the indication that they are the same? Yeah, it is. The amount of accidents is the same. How do you know? If I just look at the line only, how can you describe the section that says they are the same? Yes, it's a straight flat line. Very good, Stephen. So this portion shows you that there's no change. Okay, there's no difference between March and April. That's why it's like an equal sign, flat. Is that okay? Now, then when do I know it's becoming more? Very good. Are you listening to what Stephen is saying? He's responding really well. I think he'll probably score in this chapter. Okay. How do you know accidents is getting more? He says when you see the line going up. Does it make sense? It makes sense, right? So, in other words of saying getting more, what's the term that we already learned? Increasing. Very good. You just saw it here. And in the same way, if I were to say, if I want to know decreasing means becoming lesser. If I look at the graph, what is the indication? So, as Stephen says, Getting more, increasing is going up. Then decreasing, getting less, the line will be going down. So can you understand? Now to show, to indicate going up and down, there are two ways. I let you choose. Okay, my way, I like this way. Going down, coming up, going equal, going down, going down. So my arrow show, sorry? You want the question to be harder? Do you know why I'm doing all this now? Of course. Rakshan, can you explain why do you think I'm doing so many things right here? That's the thing. I feel that some of us is having this problem. You are working for completing. I want to finish, full stop. I cannot have you do that. I need you to go one step further. Being able to think, ask why, then how, what does it mean? Now, Rakshan, let me try to ask Fahad. Fahad, why do you think I'm writing so many things here? So it's easier for us to find the answer. And right now, Rakshan says, these questions are easy for me. I agree. Is it easy for you too? Yes. So some of us, for this question, maybe you don't need to write so many things that I do. You can solve already. However, not everyone's feeling that way. Okay? Some of us will need this. What's more, when the question gets more difficult, which it will. Like, for example, this one here. Like, for example, this one here. Like, for example, this one's here. Then, when especially the lines goes up and down everywhere, then there's more challenging then. Now, of course, perhaps the workbook questions do not offer the more difficult questions for you. And then there will be a chance where you do the higher or more difficult questions than this. No worries, the time will come. Okay. Now, then Rasha, can you tell me then, what is the answer for D? February. Rashan says the answer is February. Can you explain why? Okay, he says it's February. Yeah, I'm going to look at this again and says, okay, the question here says decrease. So just now, Miss Lim gave us a tip. Miss Lim said, when you see the line going down, I draw an arrow showing downwards. So meaning these are the areas where it's going down, it's decreasing. So the months that are decreasing include February, May, and June. So the option is either February or May or June. So these are the months that they are decreases. However, the question asks for the one that has the greatest decrease. If I do calculations, then I'll be able to see from January to February is minus 10. From April to May, that's minus 8. From May to June, -7. Which one is the greatest? The greatest is -10. So the answer is February, not May, not June. Rakshan, based on my working here, I can tell that February is indeed the greatest decrease because it's -10 compared to for May, the decrease was 8, and for June, the decrease was 7. Can you hear what I just explained? I wish this explanation come out from you. Now, let me ask you a question then. Let's say I don't want to look at these values. I look at the line only, the line graph. Can you describe how would I be able to tell February is the greatest decrease without looking at these values? Hold on. Without looking at these values here, how do I know February is the greatest decrease? Just by looking at the line graph. Anybody has the answer to that? Okay, Stefan is ready to answer it. Okay. Just now, I found out that February has the greatest decrease by doing my calculations at the side. January to February, -10. April to May is -8. I will ignore February to March because it's an increase. So based on my calculations, it's very clear that February is the greatest decrease, the greatest drop. Now, then my question is, if I don't use these values, I just look at the line graph, how can I describe the graph to know that it's the greatest decrease? Stefan, you want to share with us? You want to tell us? That's very good. Excellent. Now, look, Stefan explains based on the grid. So he says, look, the two box come down. Okay? And then for May is, like this. 1 and a bit more. And then for May to June, like this. So Stefan says two boxes look like it dropped the most. Now, Sasha, you have a different explanation? Yes, how is it? If you don't look at number, just using a description, describe the graph. Now, if this is a flat, straight line that shows equal, how can you describe these lines that are going down? Rakshan? No? Can you see that this one, the slope is like steeper? Like you go down the hill, like you go faster. Imagine yourself rolling down here. And then for this one, it looks gentler. Like the staircase here is gentle. Yes. Can you see this one like cliff like that? Your slant, your rope runner, drop a lot. Then you run, go flat. Then this side a bit gentler. The slope is gentler. Correct. Can you understand or not? So if I just look at the line and describe, I can say the flat line tells me that there's no difference, is equal. The line goes upward, that means increase. The line goes downward, that means decrease. If the slope is steep, that means the increase is very big or the decrease is very big. If the slope is gentle, maybe the change is not so much. Can you understand? Can you understand? Okay. The next one here. So if I just look at the graph here, this one on page 158. Okay, can you tell with one look here that, hey, this is going down, down, down. Oh. From 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Okay, the line graph here, sorry, I must go with my race again. The line graph here shows the number of diners, that is your people who are eating at this restaurant, the restaurant called Value Restaurant, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on a certain day. And you can see that from here, it goes down. From 1 to 2, it goes down. From 2 to 3, it goes down. From 3 to 4, it goes down. Can you see? And 4 to 5, it goes up. 5 to 6, it goes up. Agree? If I focus on just the part that's going down, 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 from 1 to 2 is down, 2 to 3 is down, 3 to 4 is down. Based on what I was telling you just now, I don't look at any numbers now. Can you guess which part the going down is going down very fast? Drop down. Or like cliff like that. Drop down. Which part? Is it from 1 to 2? If you think it's 1 to 2, you raise your hand. Which part drop very fast? Is it from 1 to 2? Which, if you think it's 2 to 3? 3 to 4? Okay, so the answer is indeed 2 to 3. Can you see? Drop very fast. So drop very fast, the proper mathematic term will be greatest decrease. Can you understand? Now, so which part will be the lowest decrease then? Is it from 1 to 2? 2 to 3? 3 to 4? Can you understand? This is graph reading. So I can see that this is the gentle part, the gentlest part. Okay, then look at the increase. Which these two are increased. 4 to 5 is increased, 5 to 6 is increased. Using Stephen's idea just now, 4 to 5 and 5 to 6, which one increase faster? Greater increase. 4 to 5. Can you understand? All right, then that is the concept of line graphs, and that can help you to solve a lot of questions on line graph, even without numbers. Okay, which are the level 3 questions? Like for example, this one has no numbers on the graph. Okay, right. Okay. To help, I will put in the numbers 70, 50, 20, 10, 40, and then here you have 60 to 70. I need to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's 2, 4, 6, 66. So if I write down the table at the side, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. that's, oh, sorry. 1 p.m. is 70. 2 p.m. is 50. 3 p.m. is 20. 4 p.m. is 10. 5 p.m. is 40. 6 p.m. is 66. Is that okay? And
from 1 to 2 is indeed decrease is minus 20. From 2 to 3 is indeed decrease is minus 30. And from 3 to 4 is decrease is minus 10. Okay? From 4 to 5 is plus 30. And from 5 to 6 is plus 26. Does it agree with what we just described just now? That from 2 to 3 it dropped the fastest, is the greatest decrease? Yeah. You see that? It's the greatest decrease. Then the smallest decrease, is it from 3 to 4? Yeah. Can you understand? And then the increase part, is it indeed from 4 to 6 is increased? And just now you already said 4 to 5 increase greater. Agree? All right. So the next few questions, are you able to answer? So 6 p.m. will be 66 diners. How many more compared? You compare between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Find the difference. So just now I already calculated here. The answer will be 70 minus 50, that's 20. Which one of our period the increase is greatest? This I also answered. The increase is from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And the last one here, okay, this one is a creative question. Why do you think there were more people at 1 p.m. than 4 p.m.? Why? Yeah, very good. Ask 3 times. Okay, it's finished, is it? Okay, so 1 p.m. is lunchtime. Okay. Yes. Maybe because the restaurant is popular during that time, huh? 1 p.m. Because it's lunchtime. Okay. Yes. Yeah, 4 p.m. people go back to office already. Yeah. Some people, maybe some people still have some people who eat, right? Yeah. Okay. So can you understand this? So far, okay? Now, it's going to be mother tongue lesson already. I would like you to complete your homework. That is from. So I already did 2 questions with you. So can you complete up to, let's see. You want to do the whole sheet? Okay. Can we try to complete at least, at least 162. I see, I have to say it again. We cannot be satisfied with I'm finished in my work. Do you understand what I'm saying, Raphael? You did annotation. So if you say I finished already, I'm done, then I expect you next Monday, you are sitting at my seat explaining to your friends. Okay? Do you understand what I'm talking about? I cannot have you satisfied with I finished. That is not good enough. Well, especially that just now when I ask question, you cannot answer. Yeah. Okay, so please at least up to 162. Okay? See you.